Hey guys, coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to focus on something different. I am playing this composition here. It is something that you've seen me play a lot on the channel. It is Feathered Assassin. Warpwood Sage, Taboo Witcher, Whisper Seer, Wind Ranger, Shadowcrawler, Shining Assassin, Lord of Sand, and Razor Claw. You get the 6 Feathered, you get the 3 Assassins, you get the 2 Beasts. That's basically the essence of this composition. It's a level 8 comp. You don't need to go any further than level 8. And you can just hyper roll for 3-star Shadowcrawler, 3-star all your Druids, and also try and look for a 3-star Taboo Witcher. The positioning is as follows. You can see on the right hand side of your screen. Basically, you can swap this round to either corner, but I've just put it in the left corner because that's the most obvious one. Wind Ranger, bottom left corner. That gives him the least angles, so he's sort of less likely to miss his arrow. You can put the Assassins on the back line. Doesn't really matter the order which you put them in, but I would put the Shining Assassin the furthest away from the enemies because sometimes she can get locked up attacking the front line, and if they've got a God of War and it's a mage comp and your Shining Assassin doesn't jump to the back, you're in a bad position. If you get stuck attacking the God of War, it's going to be an issue. But I'll talk about that a little bit in the game. When it comes to the front line, Warpwood Sage furthest to the center because you want him to take the damage the most, then your Taboo Witcher, and then your Whisper Seer, and then you want your Razor Claw on the other side of the chessboard because that's going to distract enemies. So what I really want to focus on in this video is specifically looking at how to come back from a bad early game, because I have had some really bad games today. What I was actually trying to do with my games today was go for Beast Warrior. Now, before we get into the video, obviously, as always, we have our Switch giveaway, so make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Specifically comment, because the comment is going to be the important part of the getting yourself entered into the Switch giveaway. But liking and subscribing and hitting the bell will make sure you know when all of my videos go live, so you can come and give a comment on the videos whenever they go live, and that enters you into the giveaway. Claytano, my friend from America, is giving away a PS4 this month. So yeah, what I wanted to do was focus on how to come back from an early game. What I've done is, again, put it into 2 times as per usual. I was desperately trying to get essentially Beast Warrior game this game. I was really trying to get a Beast Warrior game, specifically because I wanted to show you that Beast Warrior is pretty good in this meta. So I was just going for game after game after game and getting really frustrated that I couldn't get a Beast Warrior game. Because the problem with Beast Warrior is it's very difficult to force. If you don't find things like 2-star Tusk Champion, Swordman, etc. early on, you're actually in a pretty bad position because it's not something that you can hyper roll for unless you get really lucky on your rolls. So what I did is I ended up playing a game where I went to level 6 and just spam rolled for looking for Beast Warriors and ended up losing really hard, as you can probably guess. So I did it this game as well. I was so frustrated that I wasn't getting a Beast Warrior game, and I saw these other people getting like 2-star Tusk Champions. You can see I check a lot of the Beast Warrior players' pages, and I was getting really frustrated because I just wanted a Beast Warrior game, and I don't like playing casuals because I don't think it gives you a good representation of kind of like the competitive environment. So I like playing ranked. So I was getting even more frustrated because I was just losing loads of ranks trying to force Beast Warriors, and so unfortunately, like, I was just in a bit of a dodgy situation, realistically. I wasn't playing very well. I was generally getting really frustrated. I was ignoring builds that were being given to me just in favor of trying to force Beast Warrior. And so in general, I was getting very frustrated, and that led to me rolling inappropriately. That led to me making bad decisions. I would get impatient. I wouldn't let my economy build up. I was just totally obsessed with trying to get my Beast Warrior composition online. And that was proving an issue for me because it just meant that none of my games were going well, and I was getting more and more frustrated the further that I went along. So you can see here, even I'm rolling extensively because I'm just looking for a pair of Abyssal Guards, and I'm looking to pick up any more Beast Warriors. So this essentially was me in tilt mode. This is me in like hardcore tilt mode. I was tilting off the face of the planet trying to get this one composition to work, and it's even worse because I wanted it for a video. So you know when you're in my position, you need a game with a specific build for a video, but the game is completely RNG. You get in a bit of a tough situation. So in my head, I then was looking at this particular shop. This is the shop that I was looking at in particular, and I saw 3 druids. Now, when I see 3 druids, I think to myself, okay, that's a pretty good start for Feathered. And this is where I calm down a little bit. When I'm having a bad start, it's all about calming down and just taking stock of the situation. I obviously was not going to get Beast Warrior this game, so I have a look at what's actually in the lobby. A lot of Knight players, Goblin mechs, Beast Warriors, and people trying to pick up some mages as well. So I said to myself, okay, right, let's just sell stuff that we don't need, start building an economy, and then work towards a build that is going to counter this lobby, because that's what I knew that Feathered Assassin would do here. I knew that Feathered Assassin were actually a pretty good shout in this lobby, because something that, you know, people will tell you is that Feathered Assassin is a bit inconsistent, but what they are good against is knights. They are also very good against mages, because, well, they go even with mages, but if you can get a 2-star Shining Assassin, you often have a really, really good chance versus mages. So in my head, I was saying, okay, like, let's calm down. Let's start to build an economy. Force the lose streak if we have to. Get to 50 gold and start rolling and looking for those druids to upgrade as quickly as possible so that we can get our feathered composition online. So that's what I did here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. This is going to be a super short video, by the way, guys. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit until the point at which I had 50 gold, and then we're going to work from there. Okay, so we're just going to basically skip 5 rounds at this point, because after round 15 I had 50 gold, and you'll notice that not much has really changed with my composition, so you haven't really missed anything major, but I have picked up a Shining Assassin and I have picked up a Lord of Sand, giving me the Beast bonus with my Tusk Champion, and also giving me the 3 Assassin bonus here as well. I basically pile all of my items onto God of War. I also pick up the item that gives you the magic resistant lifesteal, put that onto God of War, and place God of War in the center of my composition. That's important because it gives all of the units around him in 1 tile radius extra lifesteal, so you might as well get that on as many people as physically possible. So what you can see here is now I'm going to sell everything. I'm going to level up to level 7, and we're essentially going to roll for as many upgrades as physically possible. I do end up picking up the Taboo Witcher at level 1, but you can see that I basically try and roll for as many things as physically possible. I then start to stack things on the right units that I want to have things stacked upon. So you'll notice that I'm actually starting to do okay now. I'm actually starting to beat some people. I went down to 28 HP. I took a very big loss streak here. But again, I knew that I had a clear goal, and that's something that I would always recommend whenever you are playing auto chess. Have a clear goal about where you want your composition to go. You should always have an idea about the end, the outcome of your composition. You should always have an idea about where the composition is supposed to end up. And that's what I knew. You know, I've played this composition so much. It's one of my favorite compositions in the game. I knew where I wanted this composition to end up. It was a pretty easy composition to make work for me because I knew exactly where I wanted it to go. So yeah, as you can see here, this is a stupid long fight, by the way. Even in 2 times, it takes a long time for this fight to get done. It's just, yeah. And now imagine this fight in 1 times. So again, this is the point in the game now where I'm at 28 HP. If I'm below 30 HP, I am much more likely to want to spend gold on rolling. And what you can see I did here was I found the Wind Ranger, I activated my composition, but I really am looking to essentially get my 3 stars online as soon as physically possible. And you can see that I did find the Razor Claw eventually, and this now means that I've got the 3-star Warpwood Sage and the 3-star Whisper Seer. It does mean, however, that obviously I'm still a little bit lackluster in damage. I don't have a 2-star Shadow Crawler, I don't have a 2-star Wind Ranger, so there is a lot of things that I do need to improve for this composition, but we're slowly getting there. This is kind of, it's taken the bones of where I want this composition to be. I'm definitely going to be behind in levels, but if I get a 2-star Taboo Witcher and a 2-star Shadow Crawler, I probably survive versus most people in this lobby, especially because my front line is actually now pretty tanky. And again, this is just having come back from me trying to force Beast Warriors. Something else that you'll need to know about this composition, Feathered Assassin, is that it's actually a pretty solid counter to a lot of the meta right now. You're seeing a lot of Dragon Knight compositions, you're seeing a lot of Mage compositions which don't really have any solid counters. Like Feathered Assassin go 50-50 with Mage counters, but it's still a better chance at beating them than going something like Warriors. Knights generally does well against Mages as well, but you'll notice that I'm actually starting to beat a lot of the Mage players. The reason is, and the reason why this composition spikes so hard, is because in the mid game this composition is really powerful, and mages generally take a little bit longer to come online. So this is a comp that at round 22 I'm at like a decent power level. If I was level 8 and had Razor Claw, we would be at like almost maximum power level. So we're in a pretty good spot overall. You'll notice that my Shining Assassin here is like absolute MVP. Shining Assassin is the MVP versus mages. She has her shield, and that gives her complete immunity to damage. She is ranged. She can sort of tank a load of mages damage. She can take skill shots. She can divert skill shots. She's an incredibly important unit versus mage comps. So now I'm essentially looking to try and get to level 8, because I'm a late level 8 here because I rolled a lot. I didn't really get particularly lucky on my rolls, so I had to essentially waste all of my economy to get this composition online. That is something that you should definitely do, though. You should never hold back on trying to get your composition 100% online if you're in a desperate situation like me. Like, I'm still 7th place in this game, so I can't really afford to take liberties and just build an economy to 50, because like I said, versus mage comps, Feathered Assassin is genuinely 50-50. So if you screw up once, or not screw up, if you get bad RNG once, let's say, and you just don't get the crits, you don't get the right timing on the shield on the Shining Assassin, and your entire composition just dies, like, that's it, that's over. You're going to be end out the game. So I essentially needed to be super aggressive with my rolling strategy in this game. And you can see here, even on the Wild Wing Rip Around, I just get up to level 8 and I put my Razor Claw in. This gives me the Beast bonus. This improves the power of my Assassins. This is generally a good upgrade for me. And now I have no intention of building economy. If you look actually at the lobby, this lobby is very, very close in terms of HP values. This has been a wild lobby. We've had Beast Warrior players in. We've had a lot of Mage players in. Essentially, everybody is beating everybody, and there isn't really a clear... I guess, favorite in this competition right now. So there isn't like a clear favorite in terms of winner. Usually when you have a dominant player, that player remains dominant for the whole game and everybody else's health drops really low, and you have a clear gap between the top and the middle of the pack. Right now, there is no clear gap between the top and the middle of the pack. Everything is very close, and you're noticing that I'm actually beating people right at the top of the ladder right now, and that's because Feathered Assassin in general are really good versus the majority of compositions in the meta right now. Most people will tell you that Feathered Hunter is more consistent, but the amount of mages that I'm seeing, unless you're getting like a super stacked dwarf sniper, I genuinely really like Feathered Assassin into the high amount of mage compositions that you're seeing, just because Shining Assassin is a complete MVP in that regard. So yeah, I would definitely recommend playing this composition again if you get the chance. It's something that people have kind of forgotten about since the new meta of Dragon Mages has come out, and the meta of Knights has kind of taken over. So Feathered Assassin is generally untouched on terms of patches, and it's just a very strong composition overall. So I'm actually thinking about, because I'm on a good win streak here, I'm looking to build my economy back up. Not to 50, but maybe to like 30 or 40, and then roll down looking for a level 3 Razor Claw, a level 3 Shadow Crawler, and a level 3 Taboo Witcher. What you're going to see here is that actually the 6 mage comps can still beat you, and you can see this is why it's 50-50. You can just sometimes lose out to mages. That puts me on 7 HP. So as you can tell on the next round, we aren't waiting around. We are purely just looking to go. We're looking to find anything that we can. We're looking to get, again, if I'd found Taboo Witcher level 3, that would have been nice. If I'd found any more Shadow Crawlers, that would have been fantastic as well, but we didn't. The only upgrade we found in 30 golds worth of rolling was a Razor Claw, which isn't the worst thing in the world. A level 2 Razor Claw is definitely much better than a level 1 Razor Claw, and he is a good distraction tool. You might wonder why I'm putting my Razor Claw over on the right-hand side of the board. It's because I want him to distract the enemy frontline. You'll notice that I've changed my positioning slightly from what I would have positioned on the start of the video. Usually I have Shining Assassin next to my Wind Ranger, so she doesn't get locked up hitting frontline targets. The reason she's there, where she is because I have that lifesteal item on my, you see the one there, the one on the top left? I have that on my Shadow Crawler, which means that I need her to be in the middle because she's giving me lifesteal to my entire lineup. So she's giving lifesteal to everybody except for Razor Claw and my Lord of Sand. So that's why I need her in the middle right now, because it's just the best position for her. If you have a look at the lobby, everybody is now basically 10 HP or below, which, can you believe? Just point in case about my Shining Assassin, look who she's attacking right now. She's sat there attacking the God of War, doing no damage to him because he's God of War 3. That is an issue for me. And something that I think maybe I should have adjusted going into this game. I said, okay, let's sacrifice some of the lifesteal on some units that don't really matter, and let's put my Shining Assassin over in the middle to just make sure that she doesn't get locked up by the God of War. Unfortunately, the God of War was definitely causing a major issue for me, especially with my Shining Assassin. Because look, when no one jumps to the front line, she jumps to the back line and she gets her job done, which is what you're seeing here. She just jumps into the back line, starts attacking the assassins, starts attacking the mages, kills them a couple of hits, and you can see we're just, we're in a good spot right now. We actually also have a really stacked Shadowcrawler. Even though she's just Shadowcrawler 2, we actually have her really stacked. So it is important to note that my Shadowcrawler is actually in a decent position too. If I'd found Shadowcrawler 3, I think I probably could have just cruised this game without any worries at all. But you can see that there are still people that the God player, there are still people like mages that will beat me. And you can see I made a mistake here. Again, this is a round that I screwed up on because, as you can see, my Shadowcrawler died way too quickly, and the entire time my Shining Assassin has just been attacking the God of War, which actually, even though the player that I beat went out, I ended up losing to him. So that was a mistake that I made with terms of positioning, even though just a few rounds ago I identified what happened. It was definitely an issue. So this was just a game about how I was so like tilted in the early game, but you just need to refresh, reset, look to build an economy, play lose streak if you have to, and then look to build a composition that counters the rest of the field. And that's what I did here. That's how I actually managed to get top 3 despite having one of the worst early games I've ever had.